So we can apply this formula to our return on investment. So we take that 20 minutes saved, the number of days, it gets us to 5,200 minutes a year saved. Now let's convert that minutes into hours. And now take the 86.7 hours that we get saved per year and multiply by the 20-hour salary. That's an answer, or a savings of $1,734. Keep in mind that's just one employee. If you have 5 people, 10 people, you see how the results can definitely be astounding. So where do you start? We've got all the stats behind us. We suggest starting with, obviously a needs assessment. Don't limit the assessment only to technology training as well. Step back and take a look at the big picture. Perhaps you or your staff could benefit from a course on time management or even stress management techniques. This type of training has benefits for you and your employees that can be applied immediately. Staff can become more productive, and less stress can lead to maybe even less illness. The need to just be happier and service customers better, or the feeling to. So start the needs assessment at the top. Start with management is always the place to begin. Discuss what burning issues could be resolved with a bit more training, and keep an eye on the goals that the agency has and how training can help you get to those goals. So let's say your goal is to increase sales by, say, 5%. Your sales team is doing all they can to bring in new business, but how about the CSRs? Maybe some training on developing some negotiating skills with your underwriters better. Or maybe the CSRs could, just get some of those sales tips from the salespeople that we mentioned earlier. So, hopefully you're seeing the big picture that there's all different layers of training and where you need to assess those needs first. So, after starting at the top level, then good idea to maybe survey the staff, see what answers they have. You might be surprised that a lot of their needs will probably fit right along with the agency's goals. Some of them you might not have thought were even issues. So you could uncover some things that you knew or you thought were common knowledge. So after you've done the survey and analyzed their answers, the next step is going to be a task analysis. This is a good time to invest in updating your procedure manual. If you don't have a procedure manual, it's proven many times over by many different groups and firms that it's really crucial making sure everybody's on the same page. That's one of the easiest ways to increase efficiencies. From here, you'll be able to form a consensus on those streamlined workflows. Ask your task what processes throughout the day takes the longest. Go from there in the brainstorming and see what you can cut down even on your longest tasks first. So now that we've talked about and completed our assessments, narrowing down the more pressing training issues, and we've completed our task analysis to figure out where we're going to save time, it's time to figure out how we're going to actually do it. So in these next 3 slides, I'll talk about some options that you may adopt in your agency. The first option, design your own in-house training program. We suggest you limit the training sessions to no more than an hour a week. Obviously we've still got a lot of work to do. Perhaps one week you and your staff might concentrate on a particular type of coverage or policy. The next week you have a technology topic or training like creating proposals or doing something in your management system. The next week you maybe do a customer service focused training like effective listening techniques. We do the same type of thing here, just how to talk to people on the phone better and how to be more professional. And then maybe the last week of the month you could focus on agency policy and procedure. Perhaps the last time you did any type of training in the area it was when the employees were first hired in, but it's a good idea to make sure those things are refreshed as well. Interactive training is very important, and use role-playing whenever you can, especially in the customer service training. We do that when we're doing our service trainings as well. One person will be the customer having a problem, and the other person will be the service engineer walking them through. And we get comments not just from management, but from their peers as well. You get a lot of interesting comments from the peers. You'll find that people are very, very willing to help each other out. You might have one of the people, share their experience with an irate customer, how they handled that situation. Um, there are lots of other options, but you can see what works for you. But keep in mind as you manage, you're not always going to be conducting the training. Um, Select people in the agency, certain people from certain departments, and make them in charge. You'll find that people are going to, own it, take it a lot more seriously, and then if others know that they're going to be doing some next, they're probably going to be more willing to participate. Now, the second option for training is informal internal training. This type of training is more or less done individually at the pace of the user. Microsoft's got a lot of online courses and free tutorials if they're looking for something specific in that area. For instance, say they want to know how to do a mail merge in Word or something like that. Microsoft also has their Learning Center, which offers a whole catalog of training for beginners all the way up to advanced people. And most of those range from like $15 to $40. And then once you buy that course, you've actually got 12 to 18 months to complete it. So it's not like it's a tiny, tiny time frame either. They get hands-on labs to complete along with the self-test too. So it gives you status of your progress throughout the whole thing. Check with your agency management system vendors too. A lot of them have webinars for certain types of topics, usually on the more advanced features of their system. A lot of them do have a fee charge, but I don't know offhand what those costs might be. But they've got some good resources to tap into as well, and a lot of agencies don't realize that. If you have a company intranet, also I'll note that this is a great place for making sure that those resources and materials are out there for everybody to access. And if you want to learn more about an agency intranet, you'll find that we've got that webinar posted online also about how you can create and maintain a very robust and free intranet. And the last option for training we'll share is utilize